All right, we're gonna work on the workbook, 7th grade workbook, page 17. My numbers are a little different, but same premise here. So it says you have a track, 3/5 kilometers is the distance around the track. So that would be 1 lap. Okay, so 2 laps would be 3/5 plus another 3/5 kilometers. Okay, so what I would do here, the question is asking for a comparison between kilometers and minutes, but here we see a comparison between laps and minutes. So what I want to do is I want to turn these 2 laps into kilometers. I want to turn my 2 laps into kilometers. That way, when I'm comparing these, they have the same labels. So hopefully everybody understands my goal there. I want these two to have the same labels. So we know that if 1 lap is 3/5, like I said, 2 laps would be 3/5 plus 3/5, which will give you 6/5 kilometers. Alright, so from here we can set up a proportion. Usually when you have 3 numbers and you're missing 1 number, usually you can set up a proportion. A proportion means a fraction equal to another fraction. So in this example I would say 6/5 kilometers in 5 minutes. And I'm going to make sure I keep my pattern the same here. So when I see my 1 minute, my minutes are on the bottom here. So I'm going to make sure I keep it on the bottom there. And my kilometers, we don't know. So we're going to say X kilometers. And just for the sake of making this easy, you guys have calculators. I don't mind if you use calculators. You could just do 6 divided by 5 if you want. That's going to give you 1.2. And now there's a few different ways you can get this. You can think of this as your typical equation, where you multiply by the denominators to get rid of them. You could also say, well, 5 divided by 5 gets you to 1, so 1.2 divided by 5 will get you to whatever x is, which is what we're trying to find. You could also set up a proportion, or solve the proportion by saying 5 times x is equal to 1.2 times 1. And then most of you know from there to divide by the 1 stuck to the letter. And then you're going to put this in your calculator. You're going to do 1.2 divided by 5, and then that's going to be your answer in kilometers. So 1.2 divided by 5, what I'm doing in my head here, I'm just thinking of it like this, multiplying both of those by 2, and then I'm going to shift my decimal over on both of those, 1 to the left, which will give me that, and then anything over 1 is just itself. So in 1 minute, Bob is traveling 0.24, and I should have labeled that kilometers.